Yeah. Friends, good evening to all of you. Uh, Today, in the new year 2021, we are going to have a very important program that is looking the digital revolution which is taking place and the technology trends which are going to come up in 2021. We started the digital initiative programs, and we had a program on the Facebook, we have a program on YouTube, we have a program on the Instagram, and this is the fourth program in the particular series to understand the technology trend. And to speak on this particular topic, we have a very interesting person with us. You can see him on the screen, I believe, Chintan Oja. Chintan is a renowned, what you call, technologist. He has worked in all technological platforms. He's a known figure in the city of Bombay. He has worked in the big groups like Reliance. He has worked in Tata's. And he's also considered as a great thinker in the area of the technology and the technology revolution. So, Chintan, we are thankful that you come today to talk to us on the digital trends in 2021. So now the floor is open to Chintan.
Thank you so much, sir. And let me start by sharing my screen. I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah.
Just a quick check. Thank you so much. Thank you, Professor Sen Gupta, for inviting me to deliver this talk. I'm happy to
My
share.
video is off.
Please go ahead, Chintan.
Yeah, I guess was saying something. Okay.
No,
My
please go
video
ahead.
is off.
You please go ahead, Chintan.
Okay. Okay. Today, the title of my talk is Technology Trends 2021, and let us get started. So, this is my brief introduction. On the bottommost layer are the education institutes who have shaped my career. On the third layer from top are various certifications I have pursued. Second layer has got various institutes and organizations where I have been volunteering. And on the topmost layer are my employers. At present, I'm working with Lloyd's Ventures as a consultant, as an advisor to the board. I am also a active blood donor. I have donated blood for 33 times, and I encourage everyone to donate blood. Thank you so much, and let's get going. The major disruption we all witnessed in our career was Y2K, when people were really trying to save their life. They were really frightened, and then the kind of environment which was created was that world may crash, internet may come down, our compass, airplanes may not be able to navigate as they should be, and whatnot. I mean, all of us, if we look back, we all will have our own share of memories. So I just wanted to start with that because this was the time when everyone was trying to fight and do something on the Y2K bug. However, last time during this time, COVID, we started hearing about COVID-19, and COVID-19 struck entire world. At that point of time, we never thought that we would have such a bumpy ride in the year ahead. And in fact, if, in other words, COVID has been a good teacher to us. We all have learned something, and the kind of questions COVID asked or we faced were totally out of syllabus. We never thought of facing such a pandemic at a global scale. However, the life continued. We all worked from anywhere. The colleges continued, people continued to work, and that is where the life continued. There was a cultural shift as well. I mean, though we couldn't touch, but even though we could wear mask, and then we were after the lockdown where terms were eased out, we were able to meet, move out, and then network with each other. इवन दो इन इंडिया आपदा को अवसर में बदलना है और हमें बचना है और बढ़ना भी है. So this was the kind of mantra we had, and we all Indians, We continued our life the way we can. However, we were locked in our houses, but our life continued. We Indianized the global pandemic, be it Corona fighter khakras or immunity boosting pizzas or immunity boosting mukhwas. So we Indianize everything and then our life continued. Life did not stop there. We had haldiwala milk, on the counters. We had ginger doodh. We had chawanprash ice cream. We had haldi ice cream and immunity boosting kulfi and whatnot. So entire ecosystem got used to the pandemic and everyone had their own share of products. And last but not the least, here is a immunity booster pani puri wala. So this is something we all enjoyed. So we made a global pandemic a celebration, a festival, and then the life continued. That was the kind of human spirit we had. And then definitely in the new normal, our Indian weddings, ladki wale and ladke wale, different styles of mask, different mask with embroidery, all of them were available, and that is definitely encourage everyone to move out of the house and then continue the momentum. Now we are in January with new hopes and new aspirations. We have overcome almost all lockdown measures and phases, and now we have adapted to the new normal. So now let us enter the phase of vaccination. So now is the time that everyone is looking forward to get vaccinated, and then the government is also doing dry run and checking all government infrastructure to facilitate world's largest vaccination program. So now this is the time that let us look at technology trends in 2021. AI as a service. This is going to be the major trend in whatever we do, in what kind of compute we use, be it business analytics, forecasting, or any kind of decisions we would make in business, AI would be used extensively. In healthcare, diagnostic and research, AI would get used. Google has tied up with a couple of research institutes and eye hospitals, wherein they are using AI to have a better diagnosis of not corona, cataract, and that is where we are able to enhance the success rate of operations in rural areas. We are able to extend medical skills to areas where we do not have skilled doctors right now. Conversational AI. Now we would be talking to AI and then AI would be taking our voice commands. So many of us have got Alexa in our home. So Alexa is a smart speaker. In fact, many of us most of us are having a smartphone, and be it Google or be it Apple, Android or iPhone, you are able to talk to your phone. And I would encourage you to try this feature. You can easily set alarm by saying, "Hey Siri, set an alarm for me at 7 a.m. tomorrow." Or you can also ask Siri to give you a reminder to call your friend or to take a medicine even. So this is where conversational AI is maturing and it would enter the mainstream. Different types of predictive maintenance across the industry. AI is going in a very big way. We are able to save billions of dollars and have uninterrupted operation. Reddit's artificial intelligence. We are also going to see convergence of AI with other technologies like edge compute, blockchain, IoT, etc. Nowadays, AI is also being used in talent acquisition. So earlier, uh, uh, the traditional talent acquisition was they would publish advertisement and candidates would apply. But in current scenario, companies try to identify candidates using social media and then they run those AI algorithms to rank the candidate and then they call for candidates for interview. So more and more HR tools are adopting artificial intelligence. AI is being extensively used in cybersecurity. AI with a cybersecurity deception feature can prevent cyber attack before it is initiated. So this is going to be a real game changer in next 3 years time, wherein AI enabled cybersecurity deception would be in place. AI is extensively being used in marketing. If we are watching a video on YouTube, then YouTube will automatically queue up next similar likable video to the previous video what you have seen. If you are watching, let us say, a badminton match on YouTube, and then they will queue up all badminton related videos. So this is something which is a recommender engine. So recommender engines are maturing, be it retail. If you are buying something on Amazon, you would see that Amazon would suggest that people bought this, also bought this, so would you be interested in buying something more? So that is where AI is being used extensively in marketing. AI will also be used in governance, be it smart buildings, be it highways. AI would be the enabler to get the intelligence in the cloud, in the network, and then offer a uniform services without any bias, and that too on a automated service experience on a 24 by 7 basis. Next technology trend is blockchain. Blockchain would be extensively used in supply chain automation and international trade finance. Because of blockchain, we are able to trace and track our products from farm to fork. So when I say farm to fork, if you are consuming any farm produce, if you are eating apple, and then if you want to check whether this apple has been, grown in UK, or it has been grown in Australia, or it was grown in Ahmednagar, you will be able to check that out. So this is going to enhance trust, our trust on the product and produce we are consuming. Blockchain has got very interesting use case on international trade finance. Earlier, when the shipments used to travel from country to country, there was a bunch of file which used to get transferred along with these containers, articulating and indicating the place of origin and place of destination, and what kind of stuff is there in the container, in the shape, and then what is the value of it and what not, whether safety guidelines in case of chemical, and everything was there. And then the uh, the paper documentation which used to prove that yes, due taxes and levies have been paid used to be very big, and there was a lot of manual time which was spent in validating and verifying these papers. So that is where the cycle was really longer, and we all know that containers were lying in the port, but the containers were not able to move further because the documentation was pending, and that is where the human limitation factor also kicked in. And blockchain is going to automate the entire international trade finance, wherein if any process used to take a month, we would be able to finish that process in less than 10 minutes time. So that is where we are taking benefit of blockchain. Farm to fork, we already discussed. Vaccine registry, COVID is the name of the platform government of India has launched, and then sooner we will be having guideline how to register ourselves on this platform, and then that platform would inform us that when should we go for vaccination and which is the place we should be going for vaccination. So by this platform, government would be channelizing the entire vaccination program. We are soon to have health identity. We already have Aadhaar card and PAN card and all these things, but sooner we are going to have a health identity. We would also be having digital identity. Unlike we have our login credentials in corporate, in enterprises, we would be having digital identities which would be powered by blockchain. It would give us a better control over the information, and the right information and right access would be given to the right user. Various cryptocurrencies. Yesterday, the uh, price of one Bitcoin across 33,000 US dollars. And mind it, before 1 month it was less than 22,000 US dollars. So this is how the use of cryptocurrencies is growing. In 2021, Facebook is likely to launch their own cryptocurrency. The name of the cryptocurrency is Libra. With the launch of Libra, all Facebook users, that is around 257 million, uh, 2,570 million Facebook users across the world would be able to use cryptocurrency with the launch of Libra. So this is going to be the future of cryptocurrency. Come 2022, we may all have a digital wallet, unlike we have Paytm, wherein we are putting our traditional currency. We may have a crypto wallet wherein we would be putting our cryptocurrency. We would be storing our cryptocurrency and transacting using that wallet. Smart cities, various smart city services are being powered, be it garbage collection, traffic signal automation, various technologies like blockchain are entering the ecosystem and providing extensive benefit to us. Apart from convergence, government is one of the top adopter of technology. uh, Government is using blockchain for tracking, tracing, and maintaining land records, as well as taxation. And couple of universities have already started piloting award of digital degrees. So digital certificate is one of the known use case which would be in mainstream in 2021. On the cybersecurity front, advanced threat mitigation, IoT threat mitigation, we already have multiple devices which are connected to internet. Most of us are having a smart TV at home, and the smart TV gets connected to internet. Smart TV also has got a camera, and there are various hackers who are sitting across the world who can hack into your camera of your smart TV and then get a view of what is happening in your drawing room. If the smart TV is in your bedroom, then it becomes a threat to your privacy, and it is a scary moment for all of us. There would be different types of firewalls we would be installing to enhance our cyber security, and then our awareness would get enhanced with different type of education initiatives. Government of Maharashtra, Cyber Police in Maharashtra, and other state governments and state police have already published cyber security advisory and guides for different age groups. There is a cyber security guide available. Uh, uh, I mean, it has been released by Maharashtra Cyber Cell, and then it is really extensive cybersecurity manual. Having a glance through such document would definitely enhance our knowledge, and then that awareness would I mean prevent us from falling into a false trap of hackers. There would be various training programs which would get conducted. Yesterday I was discussing with the panel, and we discovered that in comparison to other states, our state has got lesser number of cyber security focused training programs. So definitely there is going to be a catch up on the cyber security. uh, uh, Europe has already launched GDPR. Our Indian version of GDPR is Data Privacy and Protection Bill, that has already been tabled, and then it is likely to get passed and become a law in 2021. Regulatory compliance automation would be a big feature in to watch out for in 2021, because all the enterprises are concerned about their security, and then government is also enforcing various organizations to make sure that they are complying the guidelines which are being given by government agencies from time to time. So automating these compliance requirement and generating a certificate would be a trend in 2021. Cybersecurity will also get converged with other technologies like AI, blockchain, and IoT, which would give us new use cases. And let us move on to the next one, drones. The drone is the new toy on the horizon. many of our children are playing with drones. They wish to buy one drone, and drone is also, apart from toys, drone is also being will be used in last mile deliveries. So 2 years ago, someone used a drone to deliver a pizza. So that was a kind of a sensational news we saw in our newspapers. However, in current times, there are a couple of startups who have started a pilot to deliver life-saving drugs in a remote area, in multiple rural areas, because of hilly terrain or because of river. You are not able to cross that river or that mountain very quickly, and that is where the delivery of medicine becomes a challenge, because at times you are not able to get the patient to the hospital. But if you are able to send the medicine to the patient sitting in a rural area and guide him over phone to take this medicine or swallow this medicine or drink this syrup, then they would be able to do, and that would be saving their life. And that is where multiple startups are planning to use drones to deliver life-saving medicines to the rural areas. Uh, Surveillance, drones are being used for surveillance. Our advanced threat our establishment with advanced threat perception are already using drones. So apart from deploying security guards, drones are being deployed to have a view of across the street or to nearby areas, which would be, I mean, instead of those watchtowers, now drone have taken place and drones are flying at a regular frequency over these critical installations. For riot control, if you have recently seen the live coverage of farmers' protest on the borders of Delhi, you would have seen that police is also using drones extensively to have a view of the crowd and then where people are gathering and what they are doing and what not. So this is also enabling our security forces to be prepared for any unforeseen situations. uh, Drone is also extensively being used for GIS imaging. So earlier we used to have satellite imagery for GIS imaging, and that used to be very costly affair. However, with use of drone and a proper high resolution camera, we are able to get much better GIS imaging than the satellite one at one tenth of cost. So GIS imaging using drone is going to be a big industry in the time to come. Drones are also being used to inspect chimney, bridges, or railway track. Our Konkan Railway is already using drones to inspect railway tracks, because Konkan Railway has got many ghats through which their tracks are passing. And at times when there is heavy rains, it becomes really difficult to send a man to inspect the railway tracks, and that is where a drone with a high resolution camera can operate in any weather and then do the job more effectively than a human. Armed forces, border security forces are using drone in a very extensive manner. We already have various Indian companies who are providing equipping our armed forces to use drones for this security purpose. Tata Group is planning to launch a drone to automate the spraying of pesticide in farms. Our farmers are, spraying pesticides, and because this is a human activity with a high human interaction, at times farmer also get certain particles of these pesticides in their breathing, and that also is really harmful for a human life. And that is where these kind of projects wherein drones are enabling the spraying of pesticide is also being envisaged. When drone would be spraying, it will not be a uh, regular spray like human does, because drone will have uh, AI powered cameras which would identify the need of the pesticide, and drone would be spraying the pesticide at the locations where there are insects, and thus it would also help us reduce the use of pesticides. So that is how drones are being used in agriculture. Video production, all of us have attended weddings wherein drones were used to take pictures and video shots, which were also being telecasted live on big screens in our wedding areas. Drone is also being used for fire control, for controlling the fire on a high-rise building. Drones, a fleet of drone is being used to, I mean, rise the water cannon to that level, or to shoot different firefighting gadgets into the fire-prone area. So that is how drone is being used by fire brigades. Drone is also being used in education and manufacturing. For manufacturing, drone, I mean, manufacturing of drone is going to be a big industry, and then educating people to use the right type of drone in the right scenario is also going to be a big business. Edge compute. Edge compute, as the word says, edge is something towards the user, the edge where user is available. And compute is to provide compute power and compute decision where the user is located. And this is something going to power the smart factories, because if you are required to take any decision in a fraction of a second, and if you are also having a good internet speed, but your program, your software, your logic, your intelligence is sitting somewhere 5,000 kilometers away in some cloud, then a delay of 2 seconds also is not acceptable. Because think of an autonomous car, think of an autonomous drone, wherein you are required to take a real-time decision as if the human is sitting in front of that scene, that customer, that user. So that is where edge compute would come in place. Different types of highway infrastructure automation, driving of autonomous fleet, various drones. Hospital will have edge compute, because when the doctor is performing uh, robotic surgery, the doctor may be sitting 10,000 kilometers away from the patient, but he needs a precision robotics, as if the doctor himself is standing in front of the patient and operating. A delay of a couple of millisecond also is not allowed, because in a given scenario, it may happen so that the doctor wishes to cut certain muscle, but because of the delay, the knife gets onto some nearby muscle. So that is also not accepted. Edge compute is also being used by armed forces and border security forces on the border to detect intruders, and then trigger various lights, various IoT sensors, and then they are also connecting these edge compute nodes with drones, so that as and when there is an intruder, the entire system gets alert, the drone takes flight, and then provides a view to a control room which is sitting almost 500 kilometers away, and then the person sitting in the control room is able to alert the intruder with sound, or even advanced drones may have a firepower to shoot the intruder. So this is going to be the future use case of edge compute and drone, and in a security scenario. Edge compute is also being used in various gaming arenas. Different new games are also being used. Edge compute is being used by telecom operators to provide smart city services. In future, it may happen so that you are traveling from Vashi to Nerul, and then you skip one traffic signal. So by the time you reach home, the entire system would have checked that, okay, fine, Chintan has skipped a traffic signal on Palm Beach Road. This is the number of the vehicle, this is the driving license, this is the photo of the driver, this is the video clip, and then the due challan is rupees 750, and then it gets deducted from my savings account, and then all I would get is thank you for paying a fine of 750 rupees. So this is going to be a scenario very soon, and such kind of scenario is enabled by edge compute. Edge compute, last but not the least use case, is use of edge compute at various renewable energy plants. So different plants are using edge compute, because these solar plants are up in the country, middle of nowhere, or these wind farms are installed on mountains or on seashores, where there is a heavy wind pressure, and then wind never stops. So to have sensitive monitoring of these devices, and then provide a right decision. To change the angle of a particular solar panel becomes a dynamic decision, and that is where these edge compute nodes are giving us more benefit, giving us an edge, so that along with the movement of the sun, you are able to turn and tune the solar panel in such a way that you are always able to get the best efficiency of that solar panel. Last but not next one is 5G. 5G is going to be a game changer. We are likely to get 5G in second half of 2021, and 5G will enable GBPS connect. Right now, we are having around 100 to 300 Mbps of internet speed on our devices. However, with use of 5G, rollout of 5G, we would have 1G up to 1 Gbps gigabit per second connect. That would trigger new use cases like smart factories. Earlier, autonomous factories was a in thing wherein the various automobiles were manufactured in a smart factory. These smart factories to operate 24 by 7. Now, smart factories will also be extended to other manufacturing facilities apart from automobiles. And that is where these factories would be working 24 by 7 without any human intervention. Telemedicine, robotic surgeries are going to be the new use cases in the year to come. Smart cities, definitely we discussed. Drone fleets, because the drones are flying from one place to other place and then they would be delivering goods or transferring medicines. You need to provide internet to have a better control and monitoring of the flying object. So that is where 5G would help us. 5G, when it is converging with other technologies like blockchain, IoT, AI, will also give us a better use case. The best use case for 5G would be to have a computer vision, because 5G will provide the vision to our program, to our algorithm, and that is where we would be able to get a better view as well as provide a better decision. As you see the picture, this picture has been taken from an autonomous vehicle which is using a 5G network, and that is where this vehicle is traveling without any help of any human driver. A program or intelligent algorithm is driving this vehicle. Virtual reality and augmented reality applications, gaming, education, would be on the rise. There are multiple companies like L&T, construction companies are using virtual reality to train their workforce. Virtual and augmented reality is being used to train police forces. The trainers put the commandos, the people who are being trained as future commandos, are being put in a scenario and then they do a virtual fight. So such kind of use cases are uh, possible and being used with use of high speed internet uh, connectivity. Next trend is on IoT. IoT will enable smart speakers, wearables. Almost many of us are having a wearable device, a smart watch, or a health band. We also have smart speakers in our home. Now we are going to have connected fridge. So connected fridge is a gadget which many of us are going to buy in 2021. So the fridge would get connected. We already have our air conditioners which are connected with our Wi-Fi, and using a mobile app, you are able to turn on or turn off the air conditioner. We also have various water geysers which are connected with internet. So as and when the user is nearby to his home, based on their geolocation, the his mobile already triggers that the user is approaching home, and then it is already 7:30 in the evening. So by 7:30, and as and when the user is returning home, his mobile would alert his home Wi-Fi to put on the geyser. So as and when the user reaches home, he will get a fresh warm water for bath purpose. So these are the kind of new use cases which would enter our life. IoT sensors are extensively used in parking lots, which tells us that how many parking lots are available, which ones are occupied, and which ones are vacant. Now is the time that we would have the service wherein you can block a parking lot before you leave your home, and by the time you reach that parking lot, they will make sure, the service provider will make sure that you get the space to park your vehicle. Smart metering, so all of us are already having a smart meter which is sending the consumption reading to a central server of our MSCB. IoT sensors are also being used in farming to check the temperature, the moisture level, and any movement of insects in the farmlands. Traffic management, various IoT sensors are being used, various uh, CCTV cameras which are capable of detecting motions and speed are also in use in our locality also. Smart Internet of Things are also enabling toll collection. From 1st of January, smart tech has been made compulsory all across the country. The next trend is robotic process automation. Various robotic arms as well as robotic softwares will take over the world. When I see this, these robotic systems would, in the year 2021, would get integrated with legacy systems. And then the adoption would rise, and then eventually we would transition to RPA enabled systems. Various types of cloud management, managing the data on the cloud. So certain aspects where there is a chance of human error are likely to get automated. The This era of 2030, 2020 to 2030 is called the era of cobots, where humans and robots will be working in parallel in a factory, in a manufacturing environment. Distributed automation, this also results into integrating your manufacturing systems with supply chain, and then it also gets connected with the CRM. So it may happen so that as and when you order a bottle, the manufacturer will customize it. The entire ecosystem would be integrated in such a way that one bottle would be ordered and it would be manufactured. So based on the demand and based on the sale, the manufacturer will have a fair idea that how many bottles he used to manufacture and then dispatch. So this is going to reduce our non-performing inventory. It will not clog and choke up our warehouses and our supply chain. So these are the kind of new use cases which we would see. RPA will also get integrated with other technologies, and then it would also get integrated with bots. At present, out 6 out of 10 transactions on any bank are being answered by bots. So it is highly possible that in your previous conversation, uh, or chat with customer care, on the other side of the screen, there would be a bot, may not be a human. So this is how bots are taking over. Combining digital and physical efforts, as I said, cobots, the rise of humans and bots working together. The environment is such that both the machine and human will work together. At present, 16 out of 100 employees, so 16% of the workforce on this planet does not have a boss which is human. Let me repeat this sentence. 16% of employees on this planet do not have a boss who is a human. And these RPA services are also being used for providing customer experience and different services. Let me narrate one use case. Right now, we are having a 2D bot interaction wherein you are just querying something, and based on the keywords used in your question, the bot identifies your pain area and then tries to provide you a resolution. But in the time to come, it may happen so that you may be conversing with a humanoid, and this humanoid will provide you experience as if you are talking to a real customer care agent. Virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, all types of realities are being extensively used in education. Come 2023, we may not have a chemistry lab, but we would have a virtual lab wherein a student is able to mix two chemicals, and then without any wastage of any chemical, they are able to learn that what happens when you mix two chemicals. For entertainment, there are multiple entertainment videos which are available, multiple entertainment films which are available, which you can watch right away as well. It is noteworthy that YouTube already has a dedicated channel for virtual reality programs. Virtual reality is also being used extensively in healthcare, where two doctors are able to simulate a 3D model of a heart and discuss that where exactly is the blockage and how the patient should be operated. This use case has definitely helped us to take benefit of the best skills in the world, and then doctors are able to collaborate and give a better benefit and then accurate surgery and diagnosis to the patient. Virtual reality based social media platforms would be seen in 2021. Virtual reality is also being used to train various armed forces, polices, and all. Now is the era of work from home, and so as virtual conferences. Unlike we are meeting on Zoom, there would be different virtual reality platforms which would enable or advance our experience of interaction on a virtual medium. Virtual virtual reality is also being used in talent acquisition. So in traditional environment, the HR or the interviewer asks the candidate certain question, and then it happens so that candidate always provides those Miss India answers. That okay, if you what would you do if certain scenario happens, and then the candidate is supposed to answer like an ideal person what he should be doing, but as and when the candidate is put into that scenario, he may be behaving differently. So that is where the advanced talent acquisition tools are using virtual reality, wherein the candidate is put into a certain scenario, like to examine his work ethics, to examine his integrity, and then the candidate is asked to navigate or play a game in that specific area, and then based on his movement and his decisions, a certain ranking, a certain score is given, which helps the recruiter have a better view of the candidate, that how the candidate would operate into. Virtual reality is also being used extensively in space exploration. Right now, we are planning regular space flights to Mars in 2027. So that is where the exploring and collaborating on a Mars environment is also going to be a in thing which would help researchers, sociologists, because again, if you are sending 100 people to Mars, then it may happen so that the way they would behave and the kind of culture that that planet would have would be different, because there are no rules which are applicable to that specific planet when we reach. So that is where VR is also being used extensively in space exploration, as well as last use case for VR would be gaming. Multiple games are being introduced in the virtual reality mode, be it table tennis, be it tennis. These were the kind of primitive games, but now advanced level of games. We already know PUBG, so now other such games are also being rolled out in a virtual environment, and we may see that people around us would be wearing a virtual reality headset and then playing games or watching a movie or attending a class or a conference. This virtual reality headset uh, comes at less than 1000 rupees on Amazon. I would encourage all of you to purchase one VR headset, fix up your mobile in the VR headset, and try various applications. Sitting here, you can visit seven wonders of the world. You can have a roller coaster ride. You can play games. You can watch movies and short documentary videos as well. And these videos are easily available and accessible on YouTube. Quantum compute as a service. So quantum compute is going to be in mainstream in 2021. Already Amazon and Microsoft have already started offering quantum compute as a service. So earlier quantum, we took almost 20 years to build our own supercomputer. We were not having our own supercomputer. The name of our first supercomputer is Param, and that is where we were lagging behind. But with rise of cloud compute and offering of quantum compute as a service would drastically reduce the research and development cycles, and that is where we would be able to quickly take benefit of quantum computing power and to our use case, be it healthcare, be it fintech, be it our manufacturing requirements, be it our cybersecurity, automations, intelligence, and all other such use cases. So, because quantum compute is going to be on the rise, various skills, roles, and jobs related to solution development, coding would be required. Quantum compute has got such a power that without any human intervention, a quantum compute can operate entire London metro. So, as and when you want to introduce automation at such large scale, technologies like quantum compute would be needed because the entire system has to work as if the humans are operating it, and that is where these technologies will be used. Quantum machine learning, so right now our machines are learning, but there is a slow speed. They are not able to advance the algorithm, and that is where the speed of innovation is not the way it is expected. But with use of quantum compute, the kind of algorithmic learning our machines have would be exponential. The machines would be very smart to identify, they will be able to understand our gesture using our laptop camera as well. So this is how the new use cases would be on the rise. Algorithmic trading. Earlier, not even earlier, until now, humans are trading on stock market. But now, a couple of companies have started deploying servers. So there is a machine who is trading on behalf of them in the stock market, and then based on the analysis, the machine decides to buy or sell a stock, and then at the end of the day, they just look at the statement that how many lakhs of rupees they have earned or how many thousands of dollars they have earned as a profit. So the traditional human knowledge, when should you buy a software, or when should you buy a stock, or when should you sell a stock, is being programmed in a quantum algorithm, and then it is also helping us trade automatically on our stock markets. Quantum compute is recently the world has faced with a new strain of coronavirus, and we fear that as and when there is new strains of such viruses are being discovered, it would be very challenging for our scientists to be ready with vaccines in the shortest possible time. But with availability of quantum compute, we are very much assured that we will be able to decode and crack the code for vaccine or medicine to our benefit and protect the humanity. Last but not the least, deceptive cybersecurity. As I earlier said, that you can mitigate the cyber attack before it actually hits you. Digital transformation of enterprise. We all know that COVID-19 has accelerated the digital transformation of enterprise with new business model, new investment. Digital transformation would get accelerated. Human capital management, sales and marketing, finance, new customer data platforms, hybrid clouds, enterprise architectures, they would be totally overhauled. work from anywhere, Uberization of work, these kind of new concepts would be in mainstream because of digital transformation of enterprise. As and when this enterprise is transformed into a digital accelerated enterprise, we would see new use cases such as energy trade. Uh, in the time to come, many of us would be driving an electric car, and it may happen so that if you are traveling from Mumbai to Pune, you may be required to charge your car on the return journey. And at that point of time, there are three ways you can purchase the electricity to recharge your car. One is by paying traditional money, second one is cryptocurrency, and third one possible use case is in your village, in your farm, you have installed you have a spare land available, and then you have installed couple of solar panels which keep on generating energy for you, and then you may be able to recharge your car using that specific energy which you generated and then pumped into the electricity grid. This location may be your home, it may be your farm, it may be some rural area in some other state even. So these are the kind of new use case which would be on the rise when the enterprises are digitally transformed. So these were the top 10 trends, and beyond these 10 trends, I would also share other trends which are likely to get our and industry's attention. That is 3D and 4D printing. At our DY Patil College, we are already able to print a a tooth implant using 3D printer. So 3D and 4D printing is going to be mainstream. We may be printing our mobile cover. We may be customizing our mobile cover, our gadgets using 3D printers. We may be having virtual assistants more and more, and then we would have new wearables. Right now, all of us are able to talk to Google or Alexa or Siri using our current mobile devices. We may be also asking Alexa to pay our light bill, to pay our to recharge our DTH, to pay our mobile bill, or to order groceries. So rather than it may happen so that rather than browsing a requirement on the Amazon app, in future you may in this year itself, many of you would have a conversation with the system to meet your requirement. This would also enable the adoption and use of smart home. We would be able to automate various gadgets and uses of our home, like opening and closing of curtains with a voice command. Sitting in your room in your drawing hall, you may be able to tell the your home agent saying that put on your AC and then set the temperature as 26 degrees after 10 minutes, because right now you're watching news and then news would get over after 10 minutes and you want to go to bedroom and sleep. So you may be able to automate this entire use case to your benefit. AI enabled hyper personalization would be on the rise. Recently, we saw advertisement of McDonald on our WhatsApp, wherein the a customer goes to a McDonald's store and the singer singing on opera singer is there on the television nearby, and that lady asks that what is your name, and then the customer says me, and then the what you call the opera singer says yes you, and then the customer says his name, and the entire opera song is customized based on his name and preferences. So these are the kind of use cases. Ethics, technology in ethics, and ethics in technology is going to be a thing to watch out for. Microeconomy, lending and learning. Millennials would be trying to take a loan for as less as 150 rupees, and then they would be settling their account in couple of hours or maybe even a week's time as well. uh, Bots, cobots, and humanoids, they would be working together. Nanotechnology would be on the rise. We already have seen that these laminates which are having a nanotechnology spray or layer on the laminates are called to be safe from corona. We have seen those ads where a to-be mother is trying to touch a cradle and then her husband says this, yes, it is safe, you can touch it. because this laminate kills coronaviruses. So these are the kind of new use cases of new technology, and we would be Indianizing a lot of such use cases. Governance, policy to regulation, we are going to have the three major sectors which are going to get impacted would be finance, it would be governance, it would be education, it would be manufacturing, and government would be always on the top of it because government is going a huge transformation. They are connecting our records and then providing the right service to the right citizen. One of the recent use case was to transfer what you call the relief to some 9 crore farmers. So this is customization and unionization of our various use cases. Last but not the least, everything as a service. We would have everything as a service, and that is going to be interesting in the time to come. Uh, Other trends or other keywords which would we would see in 2021 is mixed economic recovery. Because of corona, the recovery is very slow. Work from anywhere now. No bosses would be asking the employee to come to office. They would be demanding the work, not the presence. Earlier in traditional environment, bosses and organization were demanding the presence, not the work. But the time has changed now. All the bosses are demanding the output, whether you work from office, whether you work from your home, you work from anywhere, but you share your output. Reskilling of workforce would be a new challenge. I was reading a future of work report which said that this wave of reskilling will not last more than 3 years. So now onwards, every 1000 days, the entire technology would change, and then we all would have to learn, unlearn, and relearn new things. Virtual social celebrations. So Indian wedding or funerals, everything will go virtual, and then our culture would continue to flourish, and we would continue the momentum of our life. Face mask culture, we will see a lot of face mask and then awareness in around people around us. A virtual and improved education would be seen. Renewed focus on health and wellness. All of us are really indeed more alert than we were maybe in 2018 even. OTT as new cinemas. No one would go to cinemas or Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hotstar would be the new cinema for all of us. And last keyword would be vaccine diplomacy because not all countries have got access or R&D capabilities to make a vaccine for themselves. So international business as well as international diplomatic channels will have vaccine diplomacy as one of the keyword to watch out for in 2021. In the interest of time, this is a 6-minute video. I'll just skip it. And this is going to be my last slide. I always say that early adopters always win. Having an overview and knowledge of these technology trends well in time would definitely help you make a winner and then make use of the technology in your favor. Let us connect, collaborate, and coexist. I have shared my LinkedIn and Twitter handle. Feel free to reach out to me for any question queries. Uh, with this, my presentation is over, and I am just stopping my screen share. We all can have a conversation, and I will be happy to answer your questions. So I will just look at the chat window and see that if we have any questions in the chat window.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah,
NK
sure,
Agarwal.
please. Yeah. Please, please, please.
Can you throw some light on the recent hacking on the various important departments, sensitive departments in US? And how do you go about preventing that? Because that's a very serious matter.
Yes, definitely. That is a serious. I mean, this is a world of cyber crimes, and we all will have to guard our governance systems. I mean, this morning I read a, news item which says that someone has discovered a shipment advice in the ballot box, which stated that the ballot papers in that specific box were sent from China. They were printed and couriered from China. So these are the kind of new ways the criminals are, working. So if there were people said that, Russia had an influence on last previous US election, then probably same thing is being discovered for the latest election, wherein there is a heavy influence of some other country. And to guard our interest, all countries will have to be really alert and then have better control on their social media, their cyber security systems, and their, I would say, nationalist culture. Because the reason is these social media goons, I would say, have mastered the art of creating a conflict. So, be it Kashmir or be it Delhi riots, certain content which divides our country and creates a conflict between two, religions or people with different thought process are being shared freely. And we, as a human, we are used to believe that whatever comes on our WhatsApp is true, and which is not the right case. But that is where they try to influence us, and they make certain belief change. So that is where this has become a really a great challenge, I would say.
Thank you.
Thank you,
I
sir.
want to ask one question.
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Just as the difference between rich and poor creates a problem, imbalance, you think education of what you are talking about and uneducated people in Africa and many other countries, whether that will not create an imbalance of, this all innovations or whatever we are talking about,
So the answer is yes, as well as answer is no. When I say answer is yes, because people who are inventing has got a huge customer base to address to and go and sell your product.
Okay.
If you look at it as a socialist, if you look at it as capitalist, it is a huge market base. But if you look at it as a socialist, then probably, oh yeah, there is a serious issue, and then world is not being treated equally, and then everyone should have a fair share and whatnot. So that is where I would say that. If you look at as a capitalist, then probably yes, it's a good business scenario that not everyone is knowing, and because if they know, they will try to make their own thing, and then they would also become Atmanirbhar. So where will you go and sell your product?
No, another problem is, you see, what happened to the human being. You see, the technologies are almost overtaking the human being, which is probably a very dangerous trend because humans, what they want, they'll not be able to control. The machines or the whatever intelligence will try to control. Somebody may try to use, because there was a movie long back which said when the human beings are being overtaken by the robots or machine, it's a very dangerous trend. Their
Yeah, very
survival
true.
may become a difficult of humanity itself.
Yes, I don't deny, but that is where, I am really positive that our Indian culture, our foundational family values, and our religion keeps us grounded from doing any unethical thing. As Indians, we are already, the kind of software capital of the world, and then we are the most powerful software, army of software developers. But you won't see any Indian caught in any kind of unethical tech, what you call, case, wherein Indians try to use technology in their favor and try to do some harm to any humanity or any business. So that is something a positive side, that our religion, our family values, our school education keeps everyone grounded. So even though we are masters of technology, but we haven't become a tech terrorist.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
Very
sir.
much. Thanks for doing this.
Let me
So, can I ask a question, please, Mr. Vaja?
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
See, you mentioned about reskilling of workforce every 1,000 days.
Yes, yes.
It is massive work. That is one. And then it automatically means every time there is a change or adoption of new technology, integration with the existing systems will continue and the problems will remain until the transition is complete.
On,
Moreover,
yes.
even data population on the new systems in the existing is enormous. I mean, how do we propose to handle? Are there plans either with government, with the private enterprise, and how do you educate the users? Because that's going to be a massive problem.
No,
That
it
is
is
true
not
with
going to,
every technology.
sir.
That is true with every technology,
Sir,
but here, it's a massive change, complete change of 10 or 12 items. All of them are going to revolutionize our lifestyle.
yes, definitely. And let me give you one stat that we are able to process only 6% of the data generated on this planet. It means that 94% of the data which is generated, we don't have a place to store the data, we don't have a place to compute, and we are not able to generate smart decisions based on that data. So we have capacity and capability to produce only 6% of the data generated on this planet. However, the skill gap and the continuous demand of skills and upgradation would definitely be in benefit of humanity, because it will be one of the job assurance for trainers, teachers to continue to teach new things to the professionals, to students and everyone. First thing. Second thing, unless and until we achieve singularity, the singularity is the state when machines think like humans and human thinks like machines. This wave would continue. And as the latest forecast, singularity is expected by 2040. Earlier it was 2050. Now they have revised the forecast and they've said it's 2040. So we are just 2 decades away from achieving singularity. Right now, many people in Sweden already have got a chip implant in their either thumb or in the first finger, which has got a digital identity, and that it gives us access. So these are the kind of human implants which are started in this planet. So yes, uh, skilling is so. Please understand. I mean, let me be really blunt. That in previous generation, it was so that लड़का ग्रेजुएट हो गया, बीए हो गया, फिर बाद में रिटायर होता था, इंजीनियर हो गए और फिर बाद में रिटायर होते थे। हाँ, कभी अपना एम्प्लॉयर ने कहीं ट्रेनिंग पे भेजा तो भी उससे अच्छा ठीक है, वो तो पेड पिकनिक पे आया है, बॉस ने बोला जाओ जाके आओ, तो हम लोग जाके आए, बट वी आर नॉट सो अटेंटिव. But now the times have changed. We will have to invest part of our salary and our saving in keeping ourselves updated, because our updation and our reskilling is responsibility of us, not our employees anymore.
May I ask
Okay,
one
we'll take
question?
last one question. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Modi sir.
Yes. Sir, as this new trend has put that automation, etc., will be everywhere. India is a very populated country where employment is a problem. Will it not, is it not going to create a problem for employment?
So two things, sir. Technology is director of MIT, Mr. Eric Bridjolfsson, always says that technology kills the job and technology creates the job. So if I tell you that there are certain professions which did not exist a decade ago, you would agree. And we were not having Uber driver, we were not having social media marketing managers, we were not having drone operators, we were not having AI engineers. So in the time to come, we are going to have new professions, and these traditional professions would vanish. I mean, probably we do not have on this planet, we do not have any data entry operator. Right?
Correct.
Earlier, EDP was a big thing, and then they were being paid, and then there were a series of workstations which were continuously digitizing the manual data, but it is no longer a profession. However, there are new professions which are coming up. I have a talk on that, future of jobs, and I would love to deliver that talk to this audience at some other time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Chintan.
Thank
We
you,
had a
thank you.
an extensive session. It was a great time. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank
a lot.
you.
Thank you.
Have a great day
Thank you,
ahead.
sir.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.